Just a quick addendum before we start things here. I said previously that I had a Mandela effect that full change to Lavenza. Well, I was actually half right. Because it's strength that turns into Lavenza, and you can even see the butterfly here. Welcome back to Persona 5 Royal. We are, I would say, halfway through the Cliff-Off world now, so just notice those veins are like intruding all over those posters there, including Happy Holiday, but we're going to do something about that, because we're going to continue a story that someone in the comments has amazingly called How the Phantom Thieves Stole Christmas. But first, I want to go ahead and preemptively fuse the next angel that we'll be fighting, because you can probably at this point tell what they're going to be. A certain somebody is probably going to be last. Oh, okay, this would be probably 75%. I did say the compendium would be going much faster as I got later into the game. Okay, that's actually pretty cool that
I've been waiting for you.
She acknowledges the evil god there. If you get 75% any other point, she probably won't say that. But, yeah, Igor sadly doesn't have any new dialogue for an alarm.
Please be aware that there is an alarm in effect.
But Lavenza does, so that's cool.
Be prepared for variations. Please be more careful than usual.
Okay, I already can get Gabriel. Oh, it requires me to give up Raphael though, which sucks because Raphael's really good. However, I will actually need to fuse Raphael into Michael eventually anyway.
It seems to have a decent amount of strength.
And I'm going to go Mort into Gabriel because Mort has some better supportive skills. Here's actually a point where Relentless is a bad thing, because, as I mentioned before, it only applies to single-target skills, and both Gabriel's base moves are multi-targeting. So Mighty Gaze is a better trait here. I'll continue passing Arms Master Sword Dance, though Raphael's a much better recipient of that. Well, user of it. I still think it's weird that SMT1 actually had a mythologically accurate male Gabriel, and then all of the others made Gabriel female. No, sorry. And she's Temperance here, she's typically Empress. Divine Judgment, I still find this a bit of a meh move. The thing is, though, this can actually be pretty useful in, as I've said before, in Beelzebub's bio, in challenge battles, because it lets you score a lot of points without actually killing anything. Unfortunately, your entire moveset is so good, I don't really have room for this. Oh, Ali Dance is good. You know what, I have Arms Master on Raphael anyway, so let's take Ali Dance over Arms Master. I don't even know if Evade Curse does stack with Ali Dance. It does say does not stack. That would probably imply that it doesn't stack with Dodge Curse, but I seem to remember reading somewhere that these don't stack. I'm sure people will correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know why that's a thing, especially since I've got these two. Ice Amp. I amp out on better things. Salvation is decent, but again, I have that on better things.
Let us aim for the top with accessories as well.
Oh, that's interesting. Judgment Cross that gives Divine Judgment as an accessory. I didn't even know that Throne would... Okay, Throne looks very weird when it's being sacrificed like this, but I didn't even know that that was a thing, so that's cool. Don't think I've ever used that item before. I can get Sandalphon out of some fodder personas, which is another ultimate persona in my book. And I do need him for Metatron, and by extension, Lucifer. Honestly, I'm totally fine with all of that. Having a single target Hammer on is pretty nice with Omen, and Resist Fizz is redundant, but, well, I can replace that with Repel Curse. And hey, Sword Dance is back. Probably don't need Tetra Break. And I have Mega Doll on probably better things, but also your magic is pretty high.
This is a stronger version because of the alarm.
Okay, this is actually Morgana's ultimate slingshot, but I don't really want to give up Vishnu right now. Although I could always get him back from the compendium.
This is a stronger version because of the alarm.
And you know what? This is supposed to be Morgana's time to shine. And I have a lot of money. Please don't be an accident. Of course it was! Oh, we actually haven't seen Lavenz's accident animations, though. Just seizure warning for this. She does have her own unique set of accident animations. So that's one advantage to the execution equipment still being, existent. I'll have to get Morgana's ultimate weapon later.
To summon this, you may take
And
it with
Vishnu's
you, then.
back.
And
let's get Raphael back. Aha, and because I never leveled up Throne, I can actually go Regent and Throne to get Uriel.
It seems to hold a vast amount of power.
I don't... Actually, wait, you're pretty high level. But, you know what? Let's go for a regular fusion for Uriel. It's weird how his default trait is Mouth of Savoring.
Choose which skill to inherit.
I will be needing him later to fuse Michael, so I wanted to just get him now. They don't actually go in level order in terms of, like, when you fight them. Raphael is the lowest, then Gabriel, who we haven't fought yet, and then Uriel, who we already fought at the start. What is it with the Archangels and Repel Nuke? Oh, I think I know why. I think it's a direct reference to Shin Megami Tensei 1. That's actually kind of a cool nod, but also disturbing. I don't think I need Myriad Slashes. Oh, Spellmaster's really great. I can get both Arms Master and Spellmaster onto Michael this way. I've said before that I really don't like Deathbound, so let's get rid of Deathbound. Okay, hang on, hear me out for a second. I just realized something. Vishnu and Sandalphon also gets me Uriel.
It seems to hold a vast amount
But
of power.
this way,
Choose which skill
I can
to
pass
inherit.
down Vitality of the Tree Thermopylae and have that with Spellmaster. Yeah, that's better. And now, I normally don't like using costumes for main story dungeons, especially with how ridiculous Morgana looks here, but I thought it was kind of fitting this time. Yeah, even Ryuji can't resist making a Phantom Thief Rebel outfit when it's a Christmas one. But, I thought I might as well do this. To also point out just how terrifying Futaba's is, like, look, it's a man-eating reindeer with blood around its mouth. Futaba's into some weird stuff, but anyway, let's save Christmas.
Power courses through me.
Okay, on the way, got level 73 on Joker, but I really need 73 on Yusuke so I can rectify my early mistake. Speaking of early mistakes, in the heat of the moment while I was having a co-commentator on, I realized that I gave up Gun Amp on Haru when I could have overwritten Gun Boost. I think my mentality was kind of like that, yeah, I need, was that I need both Boost and Amp to make the build viable, but like, if I'm only going to keep one of them, it may as well be Amp, which gives a 50% bonus instead of a 25% bonus, but oh well. I can always rectify that with the confessional later. So, we're going into a more gold section of this place, but it doesn't mean that Mara still stops showing up. Actually, I don't think I've shown off Ice Age yet.
Joker, you're looking cool.
I always liked the first Ice Age movie. I never saw any of the others, but I don't think they were probably that good.
This is mine. Persona.
Of course, now I'm just thinking of, with Ice Age, I'm thinking of a Nick Freeze pun.
Awesome hit.
And once again, we're stuck having to finish off Mara ourselves slowly. Because yeah, Mara, at least as an enemy, has no weaknesses. They might have actually removed its ice weakness as a persona in Royal. Because a lot of late game personas seem to have no weaknesses in Royal.
I'm yawning.
It's kind of something about Nocturne that I find is interesting because here I am at the end of P5 and I'm talking about Nocturne, but like in most Persona games, having no weaknesses on a summon is something that happens in the extreme late game. Like, you have to really work for that, whereas in Nocturne, the first game with the press turn system, there's a surprisingly large amount of early game demons with no weaknesses. It's kind of interesting. Unfortunately, I don't have any nuke stuff, but I do have, I suppose I can show off Maega on Gabriel. Oh, Dominion's weak to Zeo as well. Didn't actually notice that. So I guess it was actually the opposite of being weak to Wind before, since Zeo is kind of the opposite of Wind.
Well, on to the next trial.
I would say this is like your last chance to get Thieves Den awards, but in Royal, we know the game is going to keep going. And there we go, there's 73 on everyone. Haru was a little late to 72, but there is Brave Blade. This one is in fact stronger after a Baton Pass than even his Baton Pass buff skills. And yeah, Yusuke has no further skills to learn. Now, Psyamp I definitely need. Oh, that's why I kept Gun Boost. I was going to replace it with Psyamp later. Yeah, technically I don't really need that or that, but I still kind of like to keep these, and Tentarafu can be useful sometimes. Most of the party is pretty close to learning their final skills, and in the vanilla game you were expected to be about 75 by the end of the game and fighting the final boss, so they didn't really update the learn sets in Royal, even though the game goes further until, well, logically it should be like around 85, but practically speaking you'll probably be 99 by the end of the Royal content.
I'll reveal your true form.
But yeah, we're getting really close to that temple too. So close that they're bringing out Double Mort.
Mother Harlot, you're mine.
I love how Panta Ray looks in this game. It's like two giant wind discs flying at the enemy. That was less damage than I was hoping for, though. Yeah, even with, like I didn't want to use Special Treatment earlier, but I feel like at this point in the game, Special Treatment is perfectly fair. Because even with Special Treatment, you don't get, like, massively higher damage than anyone else without, like, super broken setups. I really wanted to show off just Brave Blade. I'm so sorry, Ryuji. I love the way Brave Blade looks in this game. It's just like this gigantic, like, claw slash that comes from beneath the earth. It's just like some kind of giant subterranean beast attacking.
Okay.
You might actually notice, though, that I have, like, it says bonus when I get money here. Now, that's actually because there's a bug, and I didn't know this until comments told me about it in literally the first Mementos Depths video, so thankfully I'm slightly staggering out these recording sessions. If you leave Mementos Depths and then come back, so normally going to Mementos Depths sets a flag so that the game removes Jose's experience, money, and item drop bonuses. Because you're not supposed to have them in the Mementos Depths or in Cliff-Off World. But if you leave and then come back, then the game will instead, well, yeah, it will give you the Jose bonuses in the... I consider Mementos Depths and this to be part of the same dungeon. I was going to say, like, in the next 2 dungeons, but again, really, it's just, they're pretty much the same dungeon, just with slightly different names. I have 12 of these, but I'm not really going to use them. I should remember that I have these, like, cleaning sprays and ultimate sprays. You might notice that earlier during my co-commentary, I used a Soma. It's because, like, you know, why not at this point, really? I've still got plenty of them for the 3rd semester. And I was running low on SP. Speaking of low on SP, I believe that Koryu is going to learn Spellmaster eventually, and that's going to really help with this setup. I have to use Bufudine here because, thankfully, you don't absorb that. I thought you would because you use Ice, but actually no. I still love Ryuji's Christmas outfit here, but Yeah, because he drains
stand a
physical
chance.
and gun.
Bored now. Go find a strong enemy.
Wow, Futaba is bored fighting the complete personifications of human evil. Kind of says something about her at this point.
Here's a treasure.
Kind of says something about how much we've all grown. Soul food. Speaking of running low on SP. You're kind of supposed to go through this in the other order, but we're pretty much at the end of this dungeon, actually. Because we just have, well, this guy, and
I'll reveal your true
we've only faced 2 Archangels so far, so there is 2 to go, but the last one doesn't really have its own area.
Got the advantage. Don't rush this.
Okay, then, I guess we can still Mazio die you guys.
2 enemies floored. Not bad, Joker.
And, you know what, I actually haven't shown off Agniastra yet, let's show that. As I've said, Agniastra is not good if it only hits once. If it hits twice, it's okay. I was kind of hoping something like that might happen. Yeah, we can take you. Anyone who's willing to abandon this false god we're fighting is a friend of us. Even though he'll probably get used as fodder. I also really like, despite the silliness of the Christmas hat, I like Joker's, red, Christmas-colored jacket in this outfit, but also I like the symbolism of the fact that for this last stretch, I'm using an outfit that doesn't have a mask. It's kind of fitting. But we're now going to encounter the reason why I brought Yusuke to this section, but first let's top off Ren's SP. I have way too many of these soul foods. I think I'll go with the same party. Also, Morgana has the Ring of Greed right now because he has Wind Amp, so no reason to keep the Featherman badge. And I should probably top off my health first. And I should also probably start on my double auto Mart persona, which would be Raphael in this case. So, who's next on the Archangel agenda?
Hold. I bear you no malice, children of man.
It's the Archangel Yukiko!
Return from whence you came. Proceeding further shall only serve to shorten your lives.
When I first played this on PS3, like vanilla P5, I was laughing so much at how very obviously she's Amanda Winley.
I advise you not as a guardian, but out of the mercy of my heart.
Gabriel is traditionally depicted as the most, sympathetic or at least least merciless of the 4 Archangels in Shin Megami Tensei, so this portrayal kinda fits.
Mercy? Don't make me laugh. If you had mercy, you'd never be doing this to the world.
But also, there's that.
Ah. Even now, thy answer is in weapons drawn.
Says the one who is holding a sword right now.
What choice have I in the face of such barbarity? My children's misconduct is mine to absolve and mine to punish.
But of course, from the Velvet Room, we already know you're not the real Gabriel.
persona.
So let's... Alright, you also have the double auto Mars and Ali Dance. But first, actually... How about we have one of your subordinates turn on you? Instead of being a fake one, Uriel instead decided to join up with us after we beat him earlier. And let's debilitate her.
Let's go.
And let's charge up Yusuke. I guess we can charge up Ryuji as well. Yeah, so Gabriel's gimmick is she likes to use Divine Judgment. Unless you're immune to Bless, you're probably going to get your health halved here. But it's not really that much of an issue as long as you have a good healer with you. After all, halving HP can never directly kill you.
Let's go.
What have I potentially got here to knock you down? Let's go ahead and actually, yeah, let's go straight for Sword Dance.
Joker, you're looking cool.
I like how Swords Dance in Pokemon is a buff, but Sword Dance in this game is a pretty powerful attack. Fortunately, I can't get a third baton pass to Ryuji here. I would really appreciate Raging Temper activating right now, just saying. Nope, no raging temper. Oh well. Yeah, let's just miracle punch. Punch you while you're down.
Are you ready?
You look pumped up. Let's do this.
Aha! Redemption from missing this showtime earlier!
I'm running on empty, man.
Behold, a saucy, zesty masterpiece.
Ain't nothing better than this. Get out, dumbass! Here you go. My treat. Not bad.
And he's eating through his face mask. At this point, fake Igor is right now like one of his random angel subordinates has just come up to him, and then he's like, "Wait, Gabriel died to what?"
Whoa, a new move!
Okay, blazing hell is both a blessing and a curse for Hecate and Arn, because it's more than twice as expensive as Miragidyne, even though it is the only multi-target severe tier spell that any party member gets. I'm gonna take it, but a lack of Spellmaster definitely means Arn will be burning through her SP a lot, especially if you're going for Concentrate. But with a lot of SP healing items, it's not that bad.
Does anyone know where my friend is? He was right next to me.
No! A person disappeared right in front of my eyes.
Please, save us. Someone. Anyone.
I'm not surprised there are so many powerful enemies here.
Indeed. Though they may not be true servants of God, they do live up to that moniker.
I wonder if the people in the city are okay. I hope so. Given what is happening to this world, nobody can be considered a stranger anymore.
I really love this line. It just shows how humans can band together in times of crisis and, yeah, get over this apathy and learn to care about each other.
Yeah, that's why we can't lose. There's only one thing we gotta do. Well said, Lady Ann. Let's keep going.
And with that, well, okay then. As I said before, I don't like to get Morgana out of the party here, but I just used all the guys, and how about we bring in all the girls now? Morgana will still contribute through healing. Also, by the way, as far as the girls go, Makoto has the Spiral Rasetsu anklet because, again, just like Morgana, there's no point in keeping her amp accessory because she actually has amp now. So, okay then. I love how Makoto has like a scarf cape, and then meanwhile Haru is kind of like the kind of almost classic sort of old-timey Christmas image, and then Ann gets that. Okay. So, yeah, this last area, pretty much just 2 red shadows, some chests, and the last mini-boss.
I'll reveal your true
So let's take these guys out. I wonder if this will actually get me to learn some new skills. Also, here's Blazing Hell.
Yeah, Panther! You got them all! We're done here. Let's go. Just like I thought.
I did not even need Koryu for that one. Because auto-concentrated Blazing Hell is kind of ridiculous. And
I feel like I need more.
yeah, the downside of having those things show up so close together, and I mean that from our enemy's perspective, is that if we beat one, the other one just despawns. But fittingly, we get a good item from Morgana there. And also a Soma, to replace the one that I mentioned using earlier. So yeah, Morgana obviously gets Staff of Mercy. Regenerate 2 is pretty good. Yeah, let's take Regenerate 2. And next up, we're gonna have to fight something. So before that, I'm gonna head back and fuse what it is we're about to be fighting. Actually, on my way back, I want to talk about something here. So when I was at university, I actually took a course on Japanese history and Japanese culture. And something that I want to point out, because this dungeon in this game in particular has really gone in hard with the angle that Japanese society is very passive against authority figures. I would just like to say that throughout history, there have been many rebels in Japan. In fact, Yoshitsune and I believe Masakado were rebellious samurai. And they're immortalized as personas, not just in this game, but in the whole franchise.
Okay.
Meanwhile, a lot of Japanese youth have protested against their government. They've protested against censorship of history textbooks and of the Prime Ministers ignoring the atrocities of World War II. But I want to mention a specific person in Japan's history because they're relatively obscure to the point where they don't even have their own Wikipedia page, but it was somebody that I learned about at university. I think this is an alias, but they were called Baba Bunko. They did a lot of humorous satire of the shogunate during the Bakufu era. They also were ultimately executed by the shogunate in the end. And reportedly, as they were led away to be executed, they said, "I'm not the one who's crazy, it's you who are the crazy ones."
Good work, everyone.
When I was reading that and learning about that in my Japanese history courses, that pretty much shattered my perception that Japan as a culture is just passive and don't stand up to authority, because clearly that is not true in the case of him. I think I'm gonna have to drop Life Aid for this. This is pretty much the final thing, besides, of course, Psy Boost, that makes this build complete.
They were nothing.
Show me your true form.
Baba Bunko's work also described a lot of the authority figures of the time as monsters who preyed upon the general population and didn't have any empathy for the suffering of the people. In a lot of ways, it does feel very Persona 5. Okay, please tell me that's God's Hand. It is God's Hand, yes! I definitely wanted that before we ended things. That's going over Megaton Raid. And I definitely wanted that as well. That's going over Medea Rahan, even if it is more expensive, because Morgana's the only party member who learns that. And this is a problem. I would take this over Mafredine, and I would do that if I didn't have Concentrate, but since I have Concentrate, I kinda have to go for... I mean, technically speaking, Evade Psi is not really that useful, but, yeah, I'm gonna take Atomic Flare. That plus Nuke Boost, Nuke Amp, and Concentrate is great. I still don't really like Heat Riser, especially since I have Vitality of the Tree Thermopylae, so unfortunately I'm gonna decline Haru's final skill.
Okay.
But with that, that is every skill learned on every party member. They all do it before level 75, which shows that is generally the, considered by the developers, the ideal level to be fighting the final boss at. Or at least, the vanilla final boss. Because we're not done with Royal, but we are about to be done with vanilla Persona 5's content. It's kind of amazing to think that. But just one more fusion, or maybe even more if the alarm is kind to me.
I should write
Several at once?
Now that it's alarm time, I can fuse all three of the other Archangels into, I'm now thinking of an I'll form the head, their ultimate form.
Seems to have a decent amount of strength.
And this ultimate form is going to be my ultimate support persona going into this fight.
Select a skill to enhance.
So, Vitality of the Tree, Thermopylae, Armsmaster, Spellmaster. Ali Dance is generally considered to be better than Angelic Grace because it works on Physical and Almighty as well. And you know what, let's take Salvation, boosted by Spellmaster. So now I have Debilitate, Thermopylae, and Salvation all on a Spellmaster persona who halves the enemy's accuracy while equipped and has no weaknesses. So yeah, I'd say this is a pretty good use of the alarm and just general fusion. I technically don't need Armsmaster. I don't need Medea Rahan, but Repel Ice is okay. And yeah, Michael has fairly balanced all-round stats, so I guess I can make way for that. I don't really need Mahama on. Megadolon might be an okay option, though, with Spellmaster if I just want some offense on this guy, but also, Michael gets Cosmic Flare, which is the multi-target version of what Makoto just learned. Unfortunately, without Nuke Boost and Nuke Amp, it's not amazing. Neither is Megadolon, but this at least works on everything. There are other personas that get Cosmic Flare, I believe, so I'm gonna stick with what I have for now. Michael is again meant to be more of a utility persona for me than an attacking persona. These two are just his kind of emergency moves. Okay, so now we have Michael, but also... let's see what we can itemize. Oh, baby, I just remembered, yep. Yeah.
This is a stronger version.
So this is around the point in the game where you're supposed to get this, by the way, but in Royal, if you have the money, you can technically get this as early as level 25, and this is just downright stupid on Makoto. Even the regular version for all stats plus 10 is insane, but all stats plus 11 is even more ridiculous, since it's plus 22 to all stats by the end. And if you like Makoto and you're thinking of fighting the vanilla final boss, I highly recommend this because it turns Makoto into a statistical god. In fact, I think her stats are actually better than the final boss with this equipped. It's kind of dumb. And with Evade Sai as well, she will evade almost all the time because her agility is just that ridiculous. But anyway, I can make a second attempt at getting a,
This is a stronger version.
ultimate weapon for Morgana. In fact, at plus 50 SP, this is straight up better than the other one. I'm gonna have to rebuy Mother Harlot because she's the only thing I have with Concentrate, but please don't accident this time. Thank you! Okay. With all this favoritism I'm giving Morgana right now, you can probably tell who I plan on bringing to the final battle.
I'll go slightly rougher on them.
I'll go slightly rougher on them, wow.
This is a worthwhile strengthening.
So, let's sacrifice you to Koryu. Now I'm picturing Koryu just om-nom-nomming the, Dominion. I kind of prefer the accident version, though, for the stat boosts.
It seems to have a decent amount of strength.
I am just throwing all of my money at Igor at this point, but you know what? He deserves it. I mean, this is his early Christmas present, given that he was imprisoned for a long time. I don't know if that actually counts instant death as an ailment. It might. But I can make you sort of like a physical ailment persona. And then Mafredine. With Nuke Amp. Kind of wish I had something like Shock Boost on top of that, but it's still solid. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but Sraosha in Shin Megami Tensei 5 looks really, really terrifying. Like, whenever it gets hit, its animations, basically, it's, I think I'll keep that as is, actually. Like, its animations, when it, like, moves back into its position, it makes it look like it's putting its own bones back in order. Angelic Grace, huh? Don't think so. Now, you might want to know the wording here. Non-special ailments. In the upcoming fight, we're going to be dealing with some very special ailments. I have Debilitate at home. And by at home, I mean on Michael. Okay, guaranteed accident next time, and I'm totally fine with that, because it means I can just sacrifice Chernobog into, yeah, let's sacrifice Chernobog into Koryu for some better magic. And of course, I don't gain magic at all.
Take this.
Smoke screen. You actually need to do that a few times to get a Thieves Den award, so... I might as well actually try and do that now. Oh, it puts everything to sleep.
Really strong shadow.
Take this. Take this.
And there we go, Disappearing Act.
All right.
Oh, this is...
Yes.
And so, it's time for the final angel. But first, I want to make sure that I have my... Wait for it. I need to make sure that I have the right persona equipped to go into this. Double auto Mars. There we go. Yep, we're good to go.
Oh, dire revelation. Never did I expect thee to slay all other archangels. Now only I remain.
To those who played the vanilla Persona 5, can you confirm this for me? I've always thought this guy had a completely different voice in vanilla, and I thought that his vanilla voice was insanely cool and better than this one. I could be remembering wrong, but I seem to remember he had an almost borderline British accent in the original P5. I'm not sure if they did, why they would have changed his voice for Royal.
So that means you're the last one who's gonna get in our way.
Dare thee destroy the very ruler thou wished for? Human arrogance truly knows no bounds.
Not everyone wants that thing ruling over us.
Dost thou long for freedom? Dost thou revel in diversity? Since the dawn of time, man hath failed to quell the strife born of their own liberty.
I actually should point out that in a few surveys, sometimes Japan's public has considered diversity a bad thing, so maybe this is criticizing that.
Now they finally seek the guiding yoke of a master's rule. What empty justice seekest thou in defying their wish?
Like granting that wish is justice either. How can you say people are free when they're chained up in prisons in this broken world? If someone has lost their way, it's our job to help them come to their senses.
So, no sacrilege is beneath thee. For thy ideals thou wouldst profane all that is holy. Thou art beyond all salvation.
And this guy even gets Blooming Villain as his boss theme to show how serious things are.
This will be tough. Blood skills will be nullified, so be careful.
But as we all know,
Persona.
this is not the real Michael, because we have the real Michael at home.
Michael.
And he's going to show us exactly what he thinks of his fake.
Persona!
Okay, I'm not too concerned with giving him a turn here because you'll see what he does on his first turn. Yeah, just like the first fight, he's summoning the Zealous Messengers. But all that means is we're gonna have an easier time getting like 1-mores and getting 1-mores and baton passes, so really he's just making things worse for himself. Does Tentarafu work here? Aha, it works on the Zealous Messengers, not so much on him, but it does work on them. And in fact, since they're confused, I can actually start the chain off right now, because they're technical from guns. Okay then. In fact, I can get a bigger chain going here. But I have Amp on Psy, so I should probably go for Psy next, not a gun, even though that would also be technical. So, something about Blooming Villain that I can mention here that I haven't had a chance to before. There's a chord in this song that has, I was going to say since the dawn of time, but no, since, that has for quite a while been called Diabolos in Musica, or the devil in music. It's a certain type of chord that you're just not supposed to play. There's just something like considered a little unsettling about the way it sounds, and it definitely works for a lot of video game boss themes. Like, it's quite common video game boss themes like this, as well as in heavy metal and a lot of other hard rock music. But I think it's kind of interesting how, probably not intentional, but how you have the devil in music chord for a song that plays for the palace rulers based on the 7 deadly sins, and also this guy. Okay then, let's yeah, how about you charge up your own gun attack? Overall though, I do think that Blooming Villain is a good song. I'll Face Myself in Persona 4 is also great, but like in terms of the themes of the game, Blooming Villain is also really good. It's another song that I didn't like very much when I first played P5, but it really, really grew on me. It's also one of those where I'm not like particularly, like I think the Strikers remix of it is okay, but like it didn't even really need a remix in Strikers, it was already hard rock enough. Also, Michael does get 2 actions per turn, and please don't hit on. Thank you, Evade Ice. This guy does have a lot more health than most of the other angels, hence why he gets Blooming Villain as his boss theme instead of anything else, but he will fall all the same. And I'm really getting to show off Atomic Flare here. Yes, your time has indeed come. Be gone, fake. We've got the real Michael right here. You know what? It's actually kind of fitting that Joker ends 1 level higher than the rest of the party. I didn't want anyone else to be over level 75 because it kind of makes things a little too simple.
The path to the temple is open.
No more of that Holy Grail shit doing whatever it wants.
Let's go. I'm not sensing any more enemies nearby, Joker. This is probably gonna be our last chance to prep ourselves.
We cannot lose now. Let us ensure we do not have any regrets as we head toward the final battle.
Well said, Yusuke.
I'm okay.
We will win, Futaba. No music, you know things are serious. As we enter that temple, it's going to be time for the final battle of the vanilla content. So, I will see you all next time as the Phantom Thieves save Christmas. See you all then.